I'm Matt Platt,
I'm Shawn Walchef.
and this is Own Their
Phones.
Boom. Feel like it's March Madness when that comes on. I'm like, boom, boom.
It
I
is.
kind of
It's
feel like I'm
always
Rob
March
Deerdack
Madness.
with that energy.
Yeah, I like that. Rob Deerdack. That's my guy.
Yeah, I was on his podcast.
That's amazing. Really. Look at
Yeah,
you.
I was on like episode 8 or 9 of Build with Rob. The dude's hilarious. We actually have a clip that we've been talking about for like 6 months of using where I'm waiting to log in. This platform he used was really weird. It was like a 30-second buffer. They had to get me in the waiting room, and I could see him, and he's going, Matt Plapp, Matt Plapp, Matt Plapp. And he's just sitting there doing it over and over. I finally get put on the screen. He's like, my guy, Matt. He's like, I just made a rap for you. And he's doing it. He's like, you can use it.
That's
So I didn't start
fantastic.
using that.
Yeah, he's going to be on Restaurant Influencers. I'm interviewing him this month.
The dude's awesome. I've been
Dude, he's
following his
balling.
career. He's from
Impressive.
Ohio, just like an hour north of me.
Very impressive. Beyond impressive.
That's all. When are you doing that?
It's a couple weeks. Yeah, he's been booked. Team reached out to me, and it was it's one of those when the team reaches out, you're like, yes.
Is it in person?
Absolutely. No, not in person. Yeah,
because I was gonna say, dude, I'll fly out to shake his hand.
Yeah, no kidding. I hope the next one will be in person at the Master Smokehouse in the Media Center.
Love it.
I'll invite him back. I'll make sure that happens.
So today I want to ask you a question because you talk about digital hospitality, and I just got done submitting my responses to a series of questions with regards to restaurant reviews for QSR magazine. And one of the questions really just bugs the crap out of me.
Yes.
And I answered it. And I'm not saying it's a bad question by the reporter. I'm saying that it's the perception that this question needs to be asked. The question was, how do you reply to bad reviews? And my first thing I think of is, why aren't you replying to all reviews?
Yes.
And like, I'm just picturing this. So I'm going to imagine I'm Matt Plapp. I'm in Cali Barbecue. Maybe I know Shawn a little. I know you're the owner. You walk by, I'm eating some ribs. And I go, hey, Shawn, yeah, his ribs are awesome. Are you just going to go and just walk on by?
Of course not.
Why are people doing it online? Talk about how you think about that topic with regards to reviews in general.
Well, the basic premise of digital hospitality, why we created the show, why it's our ongoing thesis, why we talk about it so much, is that restaurant owners are phenomenal in real life. We do hospitality. It's in our blood. It's in our DNA. We know how to take care of strangers. That's what hospitality is. It's welcoming a stranger into your home, breaking bread with a stranger. We are also very good at handling criticism in real life. Literally, you cannot run a restaurant and not be able to deal with either staff complaining, customers complaining, vendors complaining. We deal with complaints with grace, with humility, and we get our point across. We let people know. We take accountability for the things that we do wrong. We take the information as data. If multiple people are complaining about one product, hey, maybe we have a bad product. No matter how good we think it is, maybe somebody's not following a recipe. But when it comes to online, all of a sudden, not just restaurant owners, because all business owners do this. Business owners have a problem with their voice, their online voice. And the most powerful restaurant owners, the most powerful business owners understand that whatever you do in real life, if you extend that online, now all of a sudden you're doing digital hospitality. You are giving a voice to your brand. You're giving a voice to your village. You're letting people know that, yes, you make mistakes. We are not a perfect business. We have close to 3,000 4.5-star reviews on Yelp. You know how many 1 stars we have? A lot. Do you know how many ones got flagged? A lot. Do you know how many 5 stars? A lot. But to have 4.5 stars is very difficult to do. Yeah. And the only way that we do that is by claiming our truth, is knowing that we're not perfect. I literally, just before we went live, I got a 1-star review on Yelp. I got notified through Marquee, which is one of the platforms that we use to aggregate and to get notifications of reviews that come on Yelp, reviews that come on Facebook, reviews that come on Google. All of the platforms matter. Every platform where a customer has a voice talking about your product or your service, they matter. Acknowledge it, because a lot of the times it's the acknowledgement, the fact that somebody cares, the heartbeat of the brand is online. The fact that somebody's there responding to the review makes me more apt to do business with that person.
Yeah, and that's to me, it's just dumbfounded. I was trying to find marquee online. How do you spell marquee?
Marqii.
Oh, I had one less I.
Marqii.
Marqii. And so
Yep.
I think it's important to surround yourself with tools to help you respond faster, like you've done with Marquee. I love platforms like that. But the couple things I've noticed about reviews and is that number one, we treat them different, like you said, than in store.
Yep.
And I've always told people this. I've talked about positive reviews. Like if I'm walking down the hallway and you say, "Hey, Matt, nice shirt," and I just keep walking, you're like, "Jackass." Well,
Yep.
it's the same online. Like you wouldn't do it on in person. Why do it online? But then the other aspect is not taking it like a gut punch. I'll never forget Evan Brodoff, Evan's Auto Care in Cincinnati. Dude's awesome. He's specialized in European cars. He was one of my first clients back when we were doing all sorts of businesses back in like 2009, 10, 11. And when he would get 105 stars, because the guy does legit work. He get 105 stars and he get a 1 star. And you would think I just blew his car up, robbed his house, and set the building on fire. Like
Yep.
he would be in like just disarray. And I'm like, Evan,
Correct.
there's odds are it's either what I've seen. Third of the time it's a competitor.
Yep.
Third of the time it's a disgruntled employee or just a random person. And then the third time it's legit.
Yep.
So if you got one negative review out of 3 out of 300, you got one on that's probably legit. Like you screw up. Like Michael Jordan was pretty good. He missed a lot of shots. Steph Curry is one of the most unconscious shooters I've ever seen. He misses a lot of shots.
Yes.
And so you can't take it personal. How do you draw that line that when somebody gets on there and says, "I was at Cali Barbecue, blah, blah, blah," how do you segment it and just digest it?
I mean, the easiest way, and I'll be honest, in the beginning when we first opened, I remember because we opened in 2008, so Yelp was still a young platform, Facebook was a young platform, and like for us, when I got those 5-star reviews, it was like it might as well have been a Michelin star. I mean, it was the greatest thing ever. Someone taking the time to write about all of our hopes, all of our dreams, everything that we went all in on. I mean, it was the best feeling in the world. And then when someone wrote a 1-star review, I mean, it was like someone calling your baby ugly.
Yeah.
Your baby's ugly, your baby's not worthy, and your baby's not going to make it, essentially, is what they were telling me. And, for me, it was very hard to get to the point where I removed my ego. I removed how do I feel about this review. So the subjectivity, getting to the objectivity. Well, what are the facts? Let me scan through this review and look at the facts. What happened? One of the things I've been pushing, because we do a lot of work with Yelp for Business, Yelp for Restaurants. We're on their platform. We create content for them. They helped us launch our show with Entrepreneur Magazine. So I've met with their engineers. I've met with their sales teams. I met with their leadership. And I'm like, listen, one thing you can do, which they've improved the app significantly, but they're still not where I think they should be, is give the restaurant owner and the guest data. The data is a receipt. So let me know, when did you visit the restaurant? Because if you visited the restaurant on Father's Day at 1 p.m. and you're making a complaint about how long the line was or about not having an extra barbecue sauce in your order, it's completely different than if you came the following Monday when it's not Father's Day. It's literally the slowest day of the year. And it was 1 p.m. and we ignored you. Those are two different day periods, different time periods, different days. So that's one thing Yelp can do. If you're listening, please go ahead and make that improvement. It's free. I give out all this free advice to improve your technology. But nonetheless, back to understanding that it's just objective data. So if multiple people are saying something, that's the crazy thing, is if somebody takes the time to tell you something bad, the chances are, if it's true, so if the brisket was bad on a given service period, chances are there were multiple people that got bad brisket. They just didn't say anything. So if you have the courage to respond to every review, which you always should do, those people oftentimes have become the biggest advocates for our brand, because you create what we call the oh shit moment. That's oh shit hospitality. I can't believe a business owner responded immediately, because I'm not talking about responding in 48 hours. I'm not talking about responding tomorrow. I'm talking about, we get the email, we get the push notification, we respond. Why do we do that? Because if we do that, then we're at inbox zero. Then I'm not batching it going like, oh my God, I have 10 emails to respond to. I don't have any time to do that. No, I just do it right away. The same reason why I never have any text messages. I don't have any text messages because Matt texts me, I text him back. If I'm in a meeting, right when I'm done, I batch my text, respond to them. Same way. That's the essence of digital hospitality, but it helps you not only get shit done, but more importantly, create those oh shit memorable moments where you're like, nobody else is doing it.
Yep.
Literally, if you're listening to this podcast, you're already doing what 99% of other restaurant owners aren't doing. You're literally playing the game within the game. Like, you're our kind of people. You're the operators that are going to continue to scale, continue to build great businesses, have the whole world of hospitality come and look at you to see what you're doing. Those are the people that want to educate themselves. That's why Matt and I care so much about this content, is that it helps us surround us with the people that are listening to this show. So do what the other business owners are unwilling to do, and then you'll find yourself so far ahead of the pack.
And you want to know who one of those restaurant owners is?
Who's that?
His name is Jacob from On Rotation Brewing in Dallas, Texas. I was in Dallas last Wednesday, and I was going through my inbox, and admittedly, some things that recently have slipped through the cracks in the inbox because I've got multiple people on them, and there was some confusion on what Matt responds to, but I saw this guy, Jacob, had signed up for Own Their Phones.
Yeah.
From on the website, and it goes into my inbox on Matt Plapp's Facebook page and business page. And so I said, hey man, where's your restaurant at? What's the name of it? And he told me, and I said, where's it at? And he said, Dallas, Texas. I'm like, oh crap. Like, I'm in Dallas next week. Well, so I had a conference. I did a first. I flew to Dallas and flew back last Wednesday night because I just had too much going on to get out of the way from the office. And so I said, hey, I've been to plenty of conferences. I'd rather spend time with you. Are you cool if I stop by your restaurant? So I met Jonathan Bannister, a friend of mine there. He gave us a little tour. We had food and drinks there, and we were there for 2.5 hours. It was kind of funny. I don't look at my phone a whole lot. I have no notifications set up. So if I could sit near, there's no text, no phone. I have everything turned off.
It's the opposite of me, by the way.
Yeah, it's the opposite of you. But I batch too. When I take time, I look at it and fix it all. But I look at my phone after about 2.5 hours, and I've got texts and emails from people I haven't heard from in like 3 years because they're at this conference.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, are you here? They're looking for you. And I'm like, I call, what's up? And like, hey, you're here in town. I'm like, yeah, I speak like in 3 hours. They're like, okay, nobody had seen you. And then of course the orange. I'm like, no, I'm here. Don't worry about it. I'll be there. But it was cool because Jacob found Own Their Phone somewhere, subscribed through the website to be notified via email and text, and listens to the podcast. And he's doing what it takes to upgrade your game. And that's important. So I want to end with this story. This finishes this episode, but about reviews.
I think Jacob started a new trend. So I do this on our Restaurant Influencers podcast, but I think you and I need to do that. We need to start calling out restaurant owners that are going above and beyond. Yeah. The ones that are listening to this show, the ones that are doing the work, making the TikTok selfie video, posting on LinkedIn, doing all the stuff that we talk about on this show. We're going to shout you out. So connect with Matt, connect with me. Let us know you heard the show, and we are going to shout you out. We're going to promote. We're going to follow you back. We'll follow you on all platforms so we can support you on social. And you never know, because that's the craziest thing. Once you put this stuff out into the world, you find the best people on earth. We
got to come up with a fancy title like MVP, but there's got to be some acronym we can come up with that's that's in there. So I'll end it with this. You talk about reviews, and a lot of reviews can be avoided or the negative avoided by that table touch that you talk about. And unfortunately, a lot of restaurants and a lot of businesses ignore the people in there. I eat out a lot. I mean, I eat out literally 7 days a week, typically 2 or 3 times a day. I don't eat at home for the most part, except for occasionally toast, Pop-Tarts, and some ribs. But I was at a Panera Bread. I did a video on this, of course, about 6 years ago. I'm at a Panera, and they have this salad that I would get there, Fuji apple chicken salad. It's really good.
Yep.
And I get it, and I'm eating it one time, and it's kaled out. Like, it's like 90% kale, and it never is. I'm still eating it, whatever. I'll finish it. And the manager walks by, and she goes, hey, how's your guys' experience today? How's your meal? And I go, well, glad you asked. Did you guys change the recipe of the Fuji apple chicken salad? And she goes, oh man, there's a lot of kale in there. I go, I know. And she goes, no, we didn't. Give me a second. She comes back with a new salad, and she goes, hey, here's a new salad for you to eat. And then here's one to go. I'm sure you've got somebody where you're going that would love this salad. She goes, what happened? I appreciate you telling me. We have a brand new guy on the line today. He had it backwards, the iceberg versus the kale. So you got like 90% kale, 10% iceberg. And she goes, I really appreciate your feedback.
Yes.
Because that could have caused everybody all day to have a bad experience. And I wouldn't have left a negative review. I would have just ate the damn salad and went on my way. That's just how I am. But a lot of people would have.
Yeah.
But by her doing her job, having an engaging conversation, instead of saying, hey, how are you doing? She actually asked a conversation that made me answer about my specific experience.
Correct.
I gave her the answer. She fixed it. And she said, hey, I appreciate you probably avoided me 10 mad customers today.
Yep.
So that's all we got. Own their phones, baby. Another episode in the books. I'm Matt Plapp.
I'm Shawn Walchef.
And this is Own Their
Phones.